What's going on, everyone? As you can tell by the title, you know what we're doing today. We're going to be installing a pair of these fine Viking shocks. They've got multiple applications. They have no prep, they have drag race. These are street with some occasional drag racing going on. They're double adjustable for compression and rebound. Obviously they come with all new hardware. Why are we doing this? Well, when I lowered the truck, that was 8 years ago, I used Belltech Street Performer shock. They've done well, but now we're drag racing the truck several times a year, and if you've watched some of the older videos, it does not weight transfer very good. It doesn't at all, actually. So that's the bonus thing that's not mentioned in the title. We're also going to pull the front sway bar off as well. Some people are going to poo-poo all over that idea. I don't really care. Several of my cars in the past, I drove them every day without the front sway bar, and I was fine with it. I usually had adjustable shocks on them, and I would just tighten them up for daily driving and loosen them up for the track. I'm one of them guys. I usually have a log book, little pad, and I'll say where I set the shocks and air pressure and tires and things like that, and the results, so I know what works. It gets me a good starting point right from the get-go, usually when I get to the track, and I can slowly adjust for there, or a lot of times I'm right on the money. At this low power level we're at now, I think I'm going to be right on the money when I find that. They give you a base setting, and we're going to start there, obviously, next time we go to the track in about 4 months, I'm guessing, with the way the weather is. We're right in the middle of the summer now. So, alright, without further ado, we're going to quit talking and get the old shocks out, get these in, get the base settings in, and we'll pull the front sway bar off as well. And then, obviously, we've got to go try them out even though we're on street tires. So, let's get to that. Alright, so first things first, see if I can focus this down in there. You can see the top of the old shock there. Yes, it also is double nutted. Something I always try to do so they don't back off and become loose. Gonna get them loose and off, and then I will jack the truck up and we'll undo the 2 bolts on the bottom and drop them out. Okay, with the help of my lovely assistant under the truck here, I've got one on, but that's what we're dealing with. I went by their recommendations, +2 on the compression, +6 on the rebound for street use. We're going to start there and try with that, see how that works out. But let me quit talking as usual and hand this one down to her so she can get it installed. We're going to remove the front sway bar, get that out of the way, and then we'll see where we're at with ride height and all that good stuff. Alright, so they're all installed. I didn't show that because if you can't take some shocks in and out, you got bigger problems in my opinion. So you can see there, yep, that's the top of them. They're jam nutted, and yes, got rid of the front sway bar. That's about 20-25 pounds. We'll weigh that, get an exact weight, and bring you underneath, show you the shocks. One thing I'm not crazy about is how hard it's going to be to get to the knobs at the track. I don't know if I'm going to be able to shimmy under the truck to change the compression and rebound settings, so I may have to have a jack with me all the time so I can do that. But speaking of, they send you, and by they I mean Viking, a tuning guide. So pretty self-explanatory. We got front and rear, but we get the front. So there's, you know, comfort, handling, all that. Right here in general it said excellent ride quality. Rebound should be 2 to 6 clicks higher than the compression. So we did 2 on compression, 6 on the rebound, as per this right here. So we'll see how that works out. Right now, it's well, got a little bit more bounce to it than before, but we'll see, like I said, how it works. Weather's gonna cool off for that first. We can go back to the track and actually see this thing weight transfer. So let me take you bottom side and we'll
have a look at the shocks under there. All right, there's a look from the bottom side of the shock. Everything else kind of crusty looking because I rebuilt the suspension and replaced everything when I lowered it, and spindles and all. That was 8 years ago, so this is the first new piece in a while. And then swing it around here, you can see the bottom where it is for me to get to the dials. I'll probably be able to get to them. I'm just being a cranky old man and complaining about that. So that install, which you didn't see very much of, was actually summer of 2024. They've been on the truck obviously since then. We've done some racing with them. Did they help? Yes and no. We're going to discuss the why right here. So I was changing the oil today, and I thought, what a great time to briefly talk about some of what we had going on to kind of go along with the rest of what you just seen about the Viking shock installation. Did they help? Somewhat. I'll show you a picture of it recently at the track here in the front end. And then today, so this is jacked up. I can get my hand under it obviously because the wheel rolls. I just measured this. I've got about 4¼ inches from the edge of the tire here to here. GMC on the lift, my trusty daily that's not so trusty right now. Unmodified suspension on that, other than shackles in the rear, but the front's completely untouched. That's the point. Whereas this has I think half a coil cut off the stock springs and a 2-inch drop spindle to achieve the almost 3-inch lower ride height. Well, here to here is about 4¼ on that truck. It's almost 5 inches at rest, not even droop. So now comes the issue of suspension travel, or the lack of. So to articulate my point, here's a stock spindle, a Belltech spindle, and you can see how they achieve that 2-inch drop. The area where the hub bolts in is moved up approximately 2 inches. There is some kind of funky geometry stuff going on there as well. So seeing the measurement between the two trucks, these were actually, this is another set of Belltechs like what's on my truck. See the logo and part number there. But after seeing how much lack of travel I have, we're going to be going back to stock spindles. More on that at another time. Also some Moroso drag springs. That'll be a whole nother video in itself. I want to get my daily back up and going so that I can spend time doing the complete conversion on this and getting in the line and all that and testing back to back. But I expect to get more travel and more consistent launches, something I've struggled with, which is silly at this power level. So stay tuned for that.